All right, let's take a look at the trades today. We traded about 4 or 5 stocks. Let's start with Apple. First, I got to show you the day chart on Apple real quick. All right, as you can see, that it gapped down pretty good here. Nice gap. So gap and go. That's the plan right here on the day chart. So what do we do on the 2-minute chart? We start shorting. I mean, I got in pretty good this time. I really am grateful about that. This trade went pretty good. I mean, first 2-minute candle right here after the pre-market went up, started to fail. And then as soon as it started turning red and going back into this pin tail, I said, if this pin tail doesn't keep up, I'm going to short. I shorted early and I stayed in it all the way until about right here. I got out when it was bumping up into this area here. First sign was this big green candle and this pin tail together. And then it started closing above the 8. And it kept this pin tail going. And then on this candle, it was still green. And I got out just before it turned red, but then followed by another huge candle. So I was thinking, I'm glad I got out of it. So the point is, I actually got back into this candle. Actually, I got back into this before it turned green. I was thinking, man, I had my stop right at the top there. I'm like, okay, this is not good. And then it finally went in my favor, and I added to my position. And then it looked like it was going green again. I just basically broke out for even here on those two. And then I shorted again and got out, and I added down here, and I got out on those trades down here. So overall, I'm happy with this trade, and except for getting stopped out too early. But you know, what are you going to do when it looks like it's bouncing back up, closing higher and higher and putting in bullish candles? You know, there's no reason to stay in it, even if it does reverse. And so when it did go reverse, we actually continued our short, and I got back in it, and I was grateful. Right here, however, I had my stop too close. And I hate it when I do that, but that's okay. I'd rather do that and then have a big loss. And I'm trying to, I don't think I can avoid that because the way I trade, getting stopped out with break even is so much better than, losing. So right here, I'm grateful that I got in early, made the right decision here. I made the right decision I think I made the right decision to get out when it looked bullish. And we just repeated the short, and we weren't afraid to get back short again and get out. Okay, so that was the Apple trade. Okay, next we have Mara, M-A-R-A, and this is the day chart from yesterday. It had a big red candle, the last day trading day, and then it gapped way up into the middle of that and started coming down. And I was like, okay, this is a good short opportunity. Let's look at what we did on the 2-minute chart here. This first 2-minute candle, as you can see, this big one here after the pre-market, it started to come up, hit the 8, fall below the VWAP, and I said it's going to go down. And I got in right here a little early, and it did go down in my favor. On this big, giant green candle, I said, I'm not letting this thing come back up. I got out, and then I realized the red candle, it's just volatile. I got back in, and I added, and it created a pin tail instantly. It broke the low, and it went right down. I said, this is going to keep going. As soon as it come back up and created a pin tail and turned green, I broke even on this little trade right here. And then this is the part that was choppy and got me. It went up to the 8. It created a red candle. I said, okay, it's going to keep going. I started a new position. It went back up, and it came red again. And I said, it went down even further. So I said, it's definitely going. I added, and it came up, did 2 green candles, and I stopped out. I said, this is a reverse. I said, and then it went in my favor. And right here is, I got into a good trade, and it was a good trade, except I got stopped out on break even because it went down and came up before it went down again. And I should have kept my stop up here. It broke the trend line right here, looks good. A nice clean red candle right here. And if I would have had my stop a little higher, but this area chopped me around, this whole area really, with all these green candles and this choppy head faking stuff, I didn't want to take a chance, and that's why my stop was real close. I'm okay with that. All right, so that's the M-A-R-A trade. All right, the next one is Myrna, and I got in after the chart looked pretty bullish already. It was already up almost close to that 200 moving average on the daily chart. Lots of good news on it, and let's see what we started off with. When I came in, it was already like this right here, and it was already like that right there, and I got in on that bullish breakout. That was kind of risky. So let me show you real quick what that was. You can see real quick here that I got in right here, and it rolled up and it went up, and I could have added, but I didn't. And right here, I got out. I was happy with the profit, and I got out before this other move. Right here, and now it's below where I got out. So you're always happy when that happens. There's probably a chance to get back in this thing sometime today, but it's below all the moving averages. So it's on the back half. If it gets another leg up or a second push back to the high or something, that's good. But I always like to trade these strong moves when everything's on this side of the moving averages, But so we'll see what happens with Myrna. All right, let's take a look at NVIDIA here. You can see on the daily chart that it had gapped down with the market. The whole market went down. And it was amazing because on average, a big day moves are $20 to $25. So on the first hour, it had already dropped $20. And with NVIDIA, I have a special technique. I will swing trade it if I can. If I can't get the day trade to work, I will swing trade it. And I've done that, and it does well. I believe this is a bullish stock and reliable to go up eventually. So I trust that it'll work out. So I bought some down here, and I was going long on it, and it didn't get over the 200 moving average. So I didn't make very much, but they were all basically profitable trades, except it didn't go up very much. Let's look what happened. As soon as we had that first hour candle, I'd bought really right down here on the bottom, and it didn't get any lower than that for the rest of the day. So I added here and sold some right here just above break even because I didn't want to hold the position double size. If it went down further, I was going to add a little bit lower, and I basically kept scalping on the way up here. I've got to get better at my decisions, and I finally got out right up here for just it wouldn't go up anymore. I could tell it wasn't going up anymore, so I got out profitable here, and I wanted to buy lower, and that's what I did. And I was waiting for it to go down some more so I could add to this position, because after I got out, I bought lower, and the market's about to close, and it finally went green, and I just got out because I didn't realize it, but the market was closing in a few minutes. So the kind of weird trades. The idea was to get it off the bottom. That worked out. But some of these decisions to how long to hold it and when to add, I still need a lot of work on that. You could tell that I must have not been too confident in this trade. If I didn't hold it right here, I could have held this. It didn't go down below the low right here, but that would have been quite a scare. And then I, got out and got back in a couple of times. That's instead of just holding it. So I need to make sure that I realize that and pay attention to those things.